Evil Empire, laughing all the way to the...
Carnage Deku is a certified Crashout. And at this point, I don't even gotta do no explaining. Y'all already know the drill. We on that My Hero Academia Season 8, straight peak. And if you haven't seen the previous vids I've done in this series so far, I'ma need you to go ahead and curry slide your way over to those ones first, then come spin back to this one. But let me not even waste no more time. We gotta get straight into the action. Run that intro.
I got loyalty inside my DNA.
I got loyalty.
Alright, so we pick up right where we left off. After this descendant of Oppenheimer, Bakugo, blew all for one of smithereens, absolutely nuking this man until he became neighbors with King Von last episode. And we see all the citizens of Japan are gathered for the main title card event, Deku versus Shigaraki, watching them live on stream. And we find out that in between episodes, this man Shigaraki directed his cracked out decay quirk on steroids underground to sink the entirety of Shizuoka, a prefecture in Japan, below the sea, and reveals that if he wanted to, he could wipe all of Japan off the map in about a week using this same method.
What? We're flying to Philadelphia! Oh, hell no!
So now, the remainder of this final battle with Deku is gonna be fought while hovering over the underwater city civilization of Atlantis. But all I gotta say is, Deku better be glad he got that float quirk and can swim. Cause trust, if you put a non-swimmer like me out there with the fate of the world on the line,
Everybody dying, me included.
I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I'll be in that bitch drowning like Patrick. Bruh, no cap, I might even look up at Shigaraki and ask for help.
Are you serious, my brother?
Bro, I gotta get it together. I'ma sign up for swim lessons soon. But anyways, these boys just start getting to. A whole tidal wave comes crashing down between them, and Deku uses this as cover to come blitzing through the A-gap like Jameer Gibbs with his floating tornado kick. Just decking Shigaraki, and got mans hanging in the air like Max off Stranger Things. If I use Gear Shift, Fajin, and Danger Sense at the same time, I can finally go on the offensive. I need a way to stop him though. My master is dead. All because I didn't annihilate that little brat, huh? You know, in a way, I guess I should be grateful to him. He made me stronger. Watch. Now I have no problem adapting to your speed. I wonder, will you last long? And after getting TSM Deku on W keyed, barely manages to parry that last attack by Shigaraki, Deku knows at this very moment he's running the ISO against the strongest quirk user in history, so he has to be on his P's and Q's at all times. Even though this man Shiggy is a walking GTA cheat code, now that All For One got packed and his potential is fully realized. Like bro, at this point, I genuinely feel bad for Deku, cause at this very moment, he's the strongest quirk user on the hero side, but compared to Shiggy, this man might as well be fodder. This is just like if a 60 overall brown shirt lined up to run the 1v1 ISO against 2018 Bron. After he hit the fusion dance with Prime Michael Jordan, Kobe, Steph, Wemby, and Shaq. Like, it's just unfair. And after that last exchange, the 5th user manifests and tells Deku something's wrong with Danger Sense. And we go back to see that as the previous users of One For All were chopping it up, discussing strategies to break Shigaraki's defenses, they got interrupted, cause all of a sudden,
I've got you in my sights.
Help! Help me!
revealing that in the brief second he came in contact with Deku, Shigaraki was able to yoink Danger Sense, stealing the quirk entirely. But Deku knows now ain't the time to be mourning his losses, and without a second thought, immediately locks in.
Black Whip and Fajin plus Gear Shift Black Chain.
And even though this combo attack was tough,
that don't work.
Cause we gotta remember, Shiggy just finessed Deku's Spidey Sense. So he was able to Uno reverse Deku's own ability against them, showing he's Weave Nation certified now, effortlessly dodging out the way of everything. And Shiggy's shocked at how useful Danger Sense actually is. So Dog is already prepping to spam the life out of that.
You're my biggest obstacle. So I'll destroy you first.
Boom.
Are you still treating me like I'm human? You're crazy! There's no scared little kid crying inside of me. Shouldn't you stop lying to yourself, Midoriya? Take a good look at me. I'm no human. I'm something different. I'm A monster!
So after getting pounded like Prime Mia Khalifa and getting yeeted halfway to Yugoslavia into a whole stage transition by Shigaraki, Deku's just on the ground, breathing heavily like Gojo, and plans to wrap Black Whip around his body multiple times and focus on defense in order to avoid fatal blows. And because of the beating he just took, the mask that All Might retrieved for him back in season 6 shattered. But luckily, Deku won't need it to breathe anymore since they're away from the water, cause Shiki sent them flying to the land, all the way to Mount Fuji, for the sole purpose of causing further destruction, cause as soon as he pulled up,
in the past, running off allowed you time to get stronger. But I can't have that anymore now, can I? It's best if I deal with you here. I'll give you nowhere to hide. When I'm done, there'll be nothing left but a horizon. And I can think of no better place to start than Mount Fuji.
And this is bad for two reasons. Cause not only is Mount Fuji one of Japan's most iconic and largest mountains, but it's a 2-in-1. So along with being a mountain, it's an active volcano. And if Decay's able to reach it, Mount Fuji will erupt. So Deku just starts gearing up, charging up his power, lightning going off every second, straight up flexing his aura like Vegeta, and says,
everything is connected somehow. And I know for a fact you're no monster. You are still human.
So Deku literally stands on business and reveals that earlier, while he was completely immobilized and had to focus everything on defense during Shigaraki's onslaught, he forced all of his muscles to flex using Black Whip, and simultaneously stored up as much power as possible using Fajin, also he could unleash a massive blast of air.
Delaware Smash!
Oh shit!
And Deku legit turned into Avatar Aang, a whole airbender, launching dogs straight up into the air like an ice agent. Cause Deku just deported Shigaraki to a whole new location. And the force of that blast was so strong that it blew away a whole portion of the terrain, interrupting the decay Shigaraki just activated. And Deku was on his prime Mr. Savage Fortnite type of timing, out there making 200 IQ plays. Because he understands that without solid matter for Shigi's decay quirk to advance through, its range and destructive power becomes severely limited. So he's already knowing he wants to run this fade mid-air. And as Shigi's prepping to come dashing back down to the ground at Deku, he stops because Danger Sense suddenly goes off and notices that the area has been completely hotboxed, covered in smoke. So that can only mean one thing.
Oh, it's you!
And Deku just comes darting out of the smoke. United States is smashing Shigi's arm off with one punch like he's Saitama. And Deku just gets to cooking up with this battle plan, cause he applied gear shift's low gear to smoke screen to create this cloud, and plans to continually deploy jabs with Black Whip while his vision is obscured. Cause his main goal is to overload Shigaraki's senses, knowing that with this many attacks going off in constant succession, Danger Sense is gonna be going off repeatedly, giving him an opening. And this fight is crazy, cause these boys are in a constant state of putting each other in checkmate to gain the advantage. Shiggy Uno reversed Danger Sense on bro earlier, but Deku just said, don't even worry about it, cause I can deploy the exact same tactics, twin. And he already knows the weaknesses of Danger Sense because of his fight with Lady Nagant.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
You's a freaky ass nigga!
Hey, my fault. But anyways, because of that fight in season 6, Deku knows how to Euro step around the advantages of Danger Sense and just starts charging up power in both of his legs using Fajin. But the 6th manifests as Deku's doing this, a warning bro that Shiki still has the search quirk at his disposal, so even with Danger Sense overloaded, he can still locate Deku at any given time.
I'm not blind to your location or your weaknesses, boy.
What do you mean by that?
Look at you. You can't even catch your breath. How sad.
Deku's out there laboring right now, and on top of that, gear shift is just worn off, along with the fact that Shigi regenerated his arm instantly and understands Deku's whole strategy, saying he knows that Deku can't keep releasing those powerful charged up attacks forever, and that he can see that Deku's reinforcing his muscles and tendons from within, because the injury residuals from Black Whip are starting to bleed through his skin.
Must be real difficult having so much to protect, Midoriya. It might not be easy, but I'm not giving up on you, or that crying boy!
And Shigaraki hears Deku spouting all of his holier-than-thou righteous hero yap, but Shigi wasn't trying to hear none of that at all. He was just like,
Bitch, I'd rather die!
He tells Deku that he is a 100% purebred evil entity now, and there's nothing he can do or say to change him. And the only way he's getting stopped is if he gets put in a pack. And Nanashimura is in Deku's mind, literally telling him to
Do it! Just do it!
slime this man out immediately, bro. And do y'all wanna know what the crazy thing about this is? Nanashimura is Shigaraki's granny.
Oh my goodness!
Oh nah. Do y'all understand how devious you gotta be moving for your own flesh and blood to want to control or delete it off the face of the earth? But even after hearing all this, Deku's still acting like the average Gen Z girly on some, no, I can fix him.
Really, nigga?
Like, ma'am, your man graduated high school with a 1.2 GPA, is 25 with no car, has been working at the same local Wendy's for the past 9 years, and his only promotion has been from fry cook to cashier. And that's only because one of his other co-workers quit while on the clock. Relax. But anyways, Deku locks in, darting at Shigaraki like a missile, with more and more of Black Whip starting to overtake his body and even form his huge X in the middle of his face. And at this point, the previous users of One For All realize there's no knocking Deku off his pivot. Dog is trying to see this through and save Shigaraki no matter what. So they get to plot, cooking up a plan to help Deku, and tells him that in order to defeat Shiggy, he's gonna have to take the ultimate gamble and let go of One For All. So Shigaraki Xbox 360s his way into a whole EMP laser blast, firing it right at Deku, who managed to block, but still got sent ricocheting across the terrain like a motherfucking bouncy ball. And Shiggy's just confused, cause out of nowhere, Star and Stripe randomly crosses his mind, even though he completely Thanos snapped her out of existence way back at the beginning of season 7. So we come back over to Deku, just to see that bro got his ass knocked out, seeing all black like an opium member.
The O stand for ostrich, the Hermes became pink.
My fault. That's been stuck in my head for a minute, gang. It's a banger. But anyways, as Deku's slowly fading back into consciousness, he's having flashbacks of All Might, and it's like,
What are you talking about? What do you mean get rid of One For All? Why would I ever do something like that? That's insane. Unfathomable even.
and the previous users of One For All start chopping it up with Deku. And I'ma just warn y'all right now, I do gotta explain the plot just a little bit here. But I definitely can't have the TikTok ADHD attention span demons leaving, so I got y'all. Don't worry, I'ma play some Subway Surfers on the side specifically for y'all boys, so lock in. But anyways, the previous users of One For All go on to explain to Deku that there's a dark leaden ball inside of Shigaraki, and that ball is an amalgamation of all the anger, discontent, and trauma he's experienced in his life. Like bro, his spirit is literally hardened by hatred, but there's a crack in that ball, which gives him an opening to exploit, because through that crack, they can access Shigaraki's wounded mind, something that even Shiggy's regeneration hasn't been able to heal after all this time. And Deku was just like,
okay, what's that got to do with One For All and me getting rid of it?
And Unk goes on to explain that Shigaraki became too strong when he absorbed All For One, so fighting him head on would be a suicide mission. So instead, they'll attack from within, and the whole plan is to forcefully transfer One For All piece by piece into Shigaraki and smash it into that wound, shattering his mind from the inside to put him out of commission. And the first quirk they'll give him is Gear Shift. So after a long discussion, Deku reluctantly agrees, knowing that if he wants to come out with the dub, he gonna have to do whatever it takes, even if that means parting with his greatest treasure in life, One For All. The treasure given to him by the hero he idolizes and admires the most, All Might. So Deku gets up on 10 toes, standing on business, forcefully wrapping more and more Black Whip around his body to reinforce it despite the pain, and just gets to charging up with lightning, looking like he can wield Mjolnir, and just says, I'll do it, and begins transforming into a certified demon, screaming like he's Broly, and Shiggy just speed blitzes Deku, but gets stopped instantly, and gets his arm slashed off in the process too.
Well, damn, what a surprise. I'd never guess you were a hero.
And the smoke clears just for us to see Deku just posted up, looking like an absolute Batman villain, ready to get into all type of treacherous activities and commit a ridiculous amount of carnage and chaos in the process, all while Gear Shift is just glowing in his left fist, ready to go on the offensive. So Carnage Deku shows off his prime Zion Williamson vert, leaping into the air with Black Whip tendrils sprouting in every direction from his back, looking like Dr. Otto Octavius, while the rest of Black Whip is literally inside Deku just so he can move his busted body around. And all I gotta say is,
this nigga is crazy.
at this point, Deku is a certified Crashout and might really be a masochist, because the amount of pain bros went through during the entire series, all while continuing to fight, is incomprehensible.
I have to get the drop on Shigaraki without using Gear Shift, then hit him with the second. There's no other way. But in order to transfer one for all, I have to get some DNA into the person I'm passing it on to.
And Deku knows the easiest way to accomplish this will be to sneak some of his blood into one of Shigaraki's open wounds. But again, Shigi's near instant regeneration is the main issue here, cause it essentially makes passing one for all to him this way damn near impossible. So Deku knows his only chance is to pass it on at the moment of impact. And Dog is about to pass out from the recoil of overusing his quirks, so he gotta work fast. But Shigaraki's perceptive. Earlier, he sensed something was off with that last attack by Deku, so he instinctively sliced off his own arm. And he knows Deku and the previous users are plotting something, so he was just on this Drake and Future Jumpman type of timing like,
Jumpin', them boys up to something.
but Shiggy knows regardless, he's still at the advantage here and says,
Fine, I'll keep on destroying both you and this country. Now, the transfer. Now, you die. The 6th, smoke screen. I just need to activate Decay. No matter what he's up to, he'll still try to protect us.
Surprise, motherfucker.
and we instantly cut to this wide angle shot, showing Deku buried Black Chain deep beneath the ground beforehand, at the position he baited Shigaraki to land at, ripping a massive chunk of earth from the ground, and yeeted that motherfucker in the air like an earthbender, all to keep Decay from spreading. Cause like I said earlier, Deku Ben realized running the once fair and square would be a suicide mission. So just like Sydney Sweeney after her boxing movie flopped, Deku said, let me reestablish my fastball and get back to my bread and butter so I can come out on top. Something I know that's gonna hit every time. In Sydney Sweeney's case, it's the calcium cannons. But with Deku, it's his insanely vast hero battle IQ. So without hesitation, bro created a makeshift version of the plug-and-play Lego blocks from earlier, the ones that the heroes made specifically for Shiggy for the battle in the coffin in the sky. And Deku just got to work. Shiggy recognizes this instantly too, but doesn't even have time to ponder the thought, cause what? And immediately turns around to deal with the threat behind him. But nah, dummy, Shigaraki fell for the hezzy. That was just Deku's cape with a sample of his blood attached to Black Whip on. And word to Chris Smooth, get this man Shiggy a map, cause bro is lost. All for Deku to come jumping out of the smoke like a FNAF jump scare, using Danger Sense against Shigaraki once again, cocking back for this mean Anthony Joshua uppercut with the left. And Shigaraki's body instinctively went on max defense, cause he already knew.
I'm in danger.
Wake up, filthy.
Man, you stupid bitch!
Obliterating Shigaraki with a point-blank smash to the chest. Got him out there looking like he just got hit dead on with the gold pump shotgun. And this was all while Deku transferred gear shift to his inner wound. And that punch hit so hard, it jumbled the whole space-time continuum. Cause these boys are moving in slow-mo now. And it completely rattled Shigaraki's mind, cause his memories of both Toga and Dabi appear mid-air, manifesting like a Susanoo. And even Deku can see this and is confused on why he can, until a memory of his fight with Todoroki at the sports festival randomly appears. And we come to find out, because of that attack, both Deku and Shigaraki's memories are merging, getting mixed up with each other's. And forcefully transferring gear shift worked, cause Shigaraki is shook. But the 6th user pops up like,
It's not enough.
let Deku know he needs to keep applying pressure to finish the job. So he darts right at Shiggy, trying to get his man another dose of Cam Scatterbo CTE. But both of their memories have completely flooded the spot, and they out there looking like they in Gojo's domain expansion he used versus Jogo way back in season 1. But at this point, nothing's stopping Deku. Just like a newspaper, he's pressing the issue and says,
I walk shit down, nigga!
blitzing Shiggy with this curse energy imbued punch, breaking through a countless number of Shigaraki's extended fingers. And just like a combo #1 at Burger King, straight up watch this man. And just look at Shigaraki, bro. Mans is astonished. But for some reason, Deku just got completely rejected. The transfer of One For All was denied, even though that punch was able to hurt Shiggy. And we find out this happened because Shigaraki's will is strong enough to steal One For All, so it's also strong enough to reject it. The user of Smokescreen was able to tootsie slide his way into Shigaraki though, and that's what caused the damage. So the attack wasn't a complete failure. Deku just says,
That's good. It wasn't for nothing. In that case, I'll try as many times as it takes.
and Deku just gets to going ballistic, swinging around like Miles Morales, dodging, ducking, weaving, perfect parrying, and whipping around Black Chain like a maniac. And Deku showing why he was the #1 overall draft pick by All Might. This man is a monster. Like at this point, you can call Deku Tyler Perry, cause bro is out there making plays. Aries. And Aries watching Deku fight live on stream from one of the evacuation shelters and wants to rush in to go help him, but she ends up getting stopped by Ectoplasm, who's not only looking out for her by telling her she's too young, but also reminds her that her horn isn't fully grown yet. So as of right now, her rewind quirk isn't as strong as it used to be, but Aries decided she's gonna help in any way she can and starts thinking with Koda. So we cut back over to the fight, and Shiki's out here tweaking, talking about some
Stay back! Don't touch me!
cause he already know, just like the quiet kid in class with a backpack, Deku is a threat. Charging up and landing yet another Black Flash type of punch straight to the body. Got Shigaraki out there looking like he's getting some legendary dome, toes curled and all. And with that punch, Deku was able to forcefully transfer the remaining users of One For All except one, Nana Shimura. Hey, I can't even hold y'all. If it's one thing that Kendrick taught us, it's levels to this hating shit. And Shigaraki was on some
I hate you, nigga, let's die.
even in the afterlife, bro kept that same energy. Shiggy said, nah, you switched up. I still don't bang with you. I hate you. Stay on that side. And as Deku's gliding in to land another blow, he gets transported to Shigaraki's childhood home, filled with all of his previous memories. Cause at this point, Shiggy's brain is more fried than a toddler's after watching the 5-hour Miss Rachel and Bluey compilation. And Deku's just inside his mind, reliving his trauma with him. Then randomly, Deku remembers when Shigaraki said his end goal was the total destruction of everything connected to that house. And Deku's just sitting there confused, just like me. Cause the way Shiggy was talking, you would've thought mans grew up in the trenches or something. Like, bro, this is a nice house. Bro, let me find out Shigaraki one of them. I grew up in a rough neighborhood. Every night, I couldn't tell if those were gunshots or fireworks. It's not safe inside my city. Dudes. But whole time, niggas be from Elk River, Minnesota. Be sweet as Candyland out there. But anyways, the YN version of Deku pops up telling bro to scram, but Deku's resolve is strong. He said, nah, I'm going in like an old Drake song. But before bro can even take a step, Truck-kun spawns in from thin air, trying to make bro twins with Flat Stanley. And Nana Shimura ends up manifesting, telling Deku he's in the inner depths of Shigaraki's mind, and the key to unlocking it lies beyond the front door of the house. And if he can reveal Shigaraki's core and strike at it, it's pretty much a guaranteed dub. So Deku rushes in, getting attacked by all of his ops from the past, Stain, Redestro, and Overhaul. And Deku eventually fights him off to finally open the door, just to see a framed picture of Shigaraki's dad as a kid and Nana Shimura. Then it cuts to another memory, a memory of Shigaraki's dad slapping him when he was a kid.
Oh nah.
So Deku's already knowing, if he wants to win this fight, he's gonna have to take a deep dive into the generational trauma of his biggest op. But hey, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, hit that sub button for me, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload. And follow me on Twitch too so you can chop it up with me when I go live. And go sub up to the second channel for even more new content. Oh, and tap in with me and follow me on TikTok as well. If you haven't already, join the Discord to stay updated on everything. All links are gonna be down in the description. And as always, I appreciate the support here on the main channel. Like, I couldn't do none of this without y'all, so thank you. We inching closer and closer to 200K, and we should be hitting that soon.
So, yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Be smooth.